Mark Waid's minions are out in force today. And here's our first example. I have several, but first, welcome to Sweetcast. I'm Clint. And today on Twitter, there was a lot of discussion going on about doxing. Doxing's not cool. Don't try to get someone fired. Don't try to call their family or go to their house or anything like that. That's not okay. It doesn't matter what their political opinion is. It's not okay. So yeah, I jumped into that conversation and I tweeted, and keep in mind here, yes, I do writing channel. I popped this out real quick and I mixed up some letters and I put JSWs instead of SJWs. Ruin careers and relationships all the time. It's not worth it. I was talking about keeping your identity to yourself. To that, somebody said, let's get it up here. Look at this coward puss. He so desperately wants to call his enemies Jews. Gentlemen, I give you comicsgate. Okay, so this is the problem. This is what social justice warriors do all the time. They try to they're making a straw man argument, but they're trying to turn something innocent into something that it's not. Obviously, I was saying social justice warriors. I've even got, obviously, it doesn't say Jews, it says JSWs. And I meant SJWs, of course. But, they've got to typecast us that we're some kind of racist or Nazi. So, in essence, this stranger called me a Nazi. So, obviously I clarified. I have no problem with Jews. Honestly, I'm not an extremist. I'm not an extreme right-winger. I'm a moderate. But painting moderates as being far right or crazy, that's the tactics that they use to scare people in the middle into complying. So there's our first example. Oh, man. Next, we've got, more people complaining. LOL, you're talking to a guy who didn't think twice about giving Dickie $100K on top of the $500K he already got. Meanwhile, his own IGG still isn't funded. Now, this is talking about Comic Pro Secrets, I believe. So this is, Ethan Van Sciver we're talking about here. It's prosperity doctoring. Guys at the top get rich, lackeys give them cash, and defend the rich guy's honor on Twitter. That is how capitalism works. And we live in a capitalist society no matter how desperately you wish we didn't. That's how it works. People make things that other people want, and they pay money for those things. That's nothing to be upset about. And the donations, the GoFundMe donations that were given to Richard Meyer, those are not for, it's not just to pocket. That's for the lawsuit. This is a cause that, those in Comicsgate believe in. So, this is absurd. Of course it's absurd. But this is, again, their tactic. The minions are out in force trying to paint a picture of Comicsgate that is inaccurate. Next up. Oh, I thought this was so fun. Ed Brisson. We're not opposed to bad reviews. We accept them. Creators dislike being tagged in them. Reviews aren't for creators. They're there for those who are considering buying or reading the book. Okay. That, again, that's how markets work. You're going to get feedback from your customers. And I understand. You write something, you put a lot of work into it, and someone doesn't like it, that can affect you. But when you're a pro, even if you're not a pro, if you're putting yourself out there, you've got to expect to get feedback and learn from it. Don't take it personal, man. That kills me. Okay, next. And this is a great example. This SJW Spiderman, he has been just going nuts on Twitter. Dude, you live stream for 4 hours with people who spread lies and hate. On your off hours, you yell at your iPad whenever a woman appears on it. Again, this was to Ethan. This is absurd. This is over the top. I've watched many of Ethan's live streams. People aren't spreading lies and hate. I will admit there's a lot of hate directed at Mark Waid right now, but I think that's justified. Let's be honest. And of course, the line here that sums up, this is the theme that I'm drawing out here. Extremism is exactly what makes up Comicsgate. Comicsgate's base. Without it, no one but you would buy your Frog comic. Oh boy. Yeah, this is absurd. The reason why people are buying and there's so many people that are jazzed about Comicsgate is because there's an alternative. There is a reformation happening right now in the comic book industry. And if you want to read good comics, you don't have to stick to Marvel and DC anymore. There are other options. There are options with creators, indie creators, who are not going to try and push their politics on you. And that's what Comicsgate is about. That's what we want. There is an alternative. And so people want to buy those comic books. What do you care? What does it matter? And the thing is, when I read stuff like this, it makes me so upset. I just want to support Ethan more, just to stick it to them. All right, next up, Mark Waid's lawyer compares bomb suspect to Comicsgate. This is a little old, but I'm just trying to show a pattern here. You know, painting. This is the same tactic that they've always used in any, Gamergate. It was the same thing. It happens all over the internet. There's painting the opposition as though they are extremists. You keep seeing that word pop up. Zaid would write, so this guy, 56 years old, lived with his mom, was in debt, alt-right, Trump fanatic. I'm thinking he shares characteristics of many members of Comicsgate. Wow. You know what? He probably shares many characteristics with, half of the world, because he was a man. What does that have to do with anything? Comicsgate, there are people of all different kinds of political viewpoints. They just want good comics. They just want your politics out of their comics. Why is that so hard to understand? So this kind of stuff just, it bothers me to no end. Oh, the next one here. Another headline. We have Comicsgate, how an anti-diversity harassment campaign in comics got ugly and profitable. Again, so there's a narrative that everybody's stringing together. They've band together and they're trying to paint Comicsgaters that they're anti-diversity and they're harassment. Now, I wouldn't say, I'm not going to speak for anybody else but me. I don't see Comicsgate as being anti-diversity in the sense that there's, diverse people in comics, diverse people telling comics. That's not what it is. What it is it's pushing a pro, it's using the banner of diversity, a pro social justice narrative, a pro social responsibility, socialism, Marxism, postmodernism. This is what the anti is about. And so yeah, diversity is a part of those things, but it's not diversity in the pure form of the definition. It's diversity in the social justice definition of diversity. And yeah, most normal people have an issue with that. It's annoying. Harassment, again, they throw this word around. It means next to nothing. And profitable. And this is what we've been starting to see from Mark Waid's minions, is that this is just about money. Now, he's fine to start his own GoFundMe campaign, and everyone's supposed to be okay with that. But, for comic gators, if we're creating a war chest, if we're defending ourselves using the law, then suddenly it's about profit. It's about profit. Well, comics are about profit. You think Marvel and DC don't care about profit? You wouldn't think so by their sales numbers. They don't care about their fans, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, they're a business. So if indie creators are going to make money, that's because fans want to read their comics. It's very simple. Very simple. But for some reason, if you are a social justice warrior, if you're one of Mark Waid's minions, you are somehow missing this obvious connection. There's no other reason. That's why people are buying them, because they want to read the comics. Here's another one. It's and the doxing is getting ugly. So we have tell your boy EVS no more doxing info, better show up on that site. And if he reads from it again on his channel, and then we've got what? It's a video of somebody shooting a gun. That's not cool. So that's a threat, not so veiled threat. And this is, again, another thing. They're going to, if you're a supporter of comicsgate, they're going to accuse you of doxing, because if they do that, then now they suddenly have the right to retaliate. An eye for an eye. They're going to dox. They've just justified them doxing. Because they said that you doxed, now they can dox. The same thing works if you've been through those diversity trainings. I've already done a video on those before. They're so upsetting because they'll teach you about microaggressions, right? So if you are committing violence by asking somebody where they're from, or by, really saying anything to anybody that looks different than you, you're committing some kind of a microaggression. And by doing that, they call it violence. That's important, because now that they've accused you of committing violence, now suddenly these NPCs feel justified in committing violence back. You see how that works? So that's why I don't think we've seen the end of the doxing. It's going to get worse. But tell me what you think. How do we combat this? How do we rise above? How do we keep moving forward? Do we just ignore them? Is the answer anonymity? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you like this content, please, the best thing that you can do is subscribe, and I would love it. Like I said, it is my birthday. If you could share this video, I would be so grateful. I really would enjoy some more subscribers, and I want to come at you with some more script reviews. I've got another one I'm going to be posting tomorrow morning at the latest. I'm hoping to have it finished later tonight, but I will see you for the next video.